Guys, this is Matt, broadcasting live from the Spring Break capital of the universe, Spring Breakia 4. This weekend, the Voices from the Vortex is bringing you live coverage of the most massive party ever conceived, Spring Break. The ultimate experience has been raging on this planet for over a decade, and these people love to party! Woo! Yeah! I love it here! Kicking it over to Tay now with an update down on the beach. How's it hanging, Tay?
Please don't call me that. I'm rocking it spring break style on the beach, where officials are setting up the most massive wet t-shirt stage I've ever seen. It spans over 500 feet. Honestly, I think they could fit about 250 soaking wet females from across the universe. Matt, did you hear me? I said, what the...
Hey there, I'm one of the hosts of Voices from the Vortex. You ever heard of us?
Oh my god, you guys are so hot.
Oh yeah, we rock it elite style.
Matt?
Oh, and this is my buddy, Taylor. Yeah, he also hosts the Voices from the Vortex over here.
Dude, you're supposed to be covering the party from the beach house.
Oh, right! Exit stage left!
Oh, where'd he go?
He's back at the beach house, hosting the show.
Oh, too bad. We were about to go skinny dipping in the ocean.
I love being naked.
Oh my god, I love your hair.
For real? I love your heart tattoo.
Isn't it just too cute?
Wow.
And this is Matt, once again reporting from the beach house, here at Spring Breakia 4, where the party never stops. Wait, are those girls going skinny dipping?
You're listening to Voices from the Vortex, episode 25, Not Another Teen Podcast, broadcast July 2015.
By way of Gallifrey. Stand by for podcast. This is Voices from Vortex.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode.
Oh my. We got a party going on over here while we do this.
Yeah, we're going to take a break from the spring break stuff and do a little of the speculating that we love to do so much over here.
Indeed.
And you know what? We got a lot to speculate about this time.
There's a lot of news that came out this month.
Yeah, I wonder, I feel like there was some big thing that just happened.
Like,
like past couple weeks ago.
Could it have been, I mean, would it be like some sort of congregation of people?
Yeah, some sort of conference of...
No, I like to think that it was showing off things, so it could have been I would even use the word convention.
Oh, I think you're right. Convention.
A convention.
Maybe for, like, comic books and... I mean... And mostly comic books, and then a couple other things.
I got it. I figured it out. This weekend, ladies and gentlemen, was the Norwegian Duck Convention. That's what happened.
Oh my god. What a rave that thing was.
When they brought out the duck calls and then the swans, fla, it's amazing.
Oh my god.
Ah.
Such craftsmanship.
Nobody puts on a duck convention like the Norwegians.
Such craftsmanship. Oh, right. Well, no, we're talking about Comic-Con, of course.
Woo! San Diego, baby!
Yeah, the big one. And oh man, the Doctor Who panel. So many good things.
So many.
Most of all, the trailer. Oh my god.
I can
Series
feel it.
9 trailer.
I feel it in my bones. It was so good.
Yes, and we have a premiere date, which is very exciting.
Yes, we do. September 19th.
Woohoo! That is, I mean, It's a little later than I'd like it to be, but I'm glad we finally have a date.
It's a little
And I
later
can
than
just
last
say-
year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like the last week of August, I think, last year for Series 8. Like the very tail end of August. So
And
this
is like middle of September.
couple weeks later.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all right.
No,
It'll be there won't be
it's fine.
there won't be such a big gap between the last episode and the Christmas special.
Which I think maybe that's what they're trying to go for, because if you talk about mid-September, that'll go all the way into November. We'd be looking at maybe a month instead of 2,
Yeah.
which is so much better that way.
Yeah. That'll be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Uh,
so many things to speak of. What do you want to talk about first?
Well, we haven't done it in a little while, but it's time for a little segment we like to call... Oh my god, that promo! Oh my god, that trailer!
Oh my god, that trailer!
Hope you like that new intro, ladies
Yes.
and gentlemen. That was fun to put together. Okay. Hold on, back up.
Yes.
Give me 50 feet.
Uh-huh.
Was it just me, or was he playing a guitar?
That was amazing.
Rock star Time Lord.
That was so good. I don't know what context he's going to need to be playing a guitar, but I am so excited.
If it's not a musical episode, I will die.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I want it to be a rock opera.
You know, it's one of those it's one of those things where I feel like after Matt Smith's first season, then it was like season 6, it's like you see a promo and like he's in a cowboy hat and you're like, "Oh my god, he's in a cowboy hat."
Right.
You know, it's 11 in a cowboy hat. This is going to be amazing. And then this one, it's like he's got the Ray-Bans on.
12 and a guitar.
Yeah, Ray-Bans on, the guitar. You're like, oh, this is going to be good. Now that we know what kind of doctor he is, it's like we've got this whole...
Right.
Now we're excited to see him in certain situations.
Right, exactly. We know that now. We understand he's not just a rebel Time Lord. He's a rock star rebel Time Lord. He's like, I do it my way and no one else cares. So here we go, let's do this. And him and hardcore rock is just, it's the perfect mix.
Yes, it'll be so good. I'm so excited for that. This trailer... Daleks? Yeah.
Daleks in the trailer.
A lot of really new creepy monsters. Like, a lot of creepy stuff. Yeah. Melted face looking dudes and... Yeah.
There was one that there was like a group of them, an army of them that sort of looked like the Jadoon with their helmets on, but they were from the medieval times.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna dub them medieval Jadoon.
Okay.
And we'll just call them the Midi Jadoon.
There you go.
So
work.
the Midi Jadoon, which will be like Frono Bono Chono Dragon Hunter, and they'll have lances. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
That's my speculation on that monster.
Hey, no, I agree. That sounds good. Yeah, we've seen a few shots of those guys. They're like robots. And then you're right, they have like these really big heads. Almost like the Jadoon. So, curious what those will be. This trailer, to me, the neat thing about it was I don't feel like there was any sort of hint at what like maybe the through line of the season was going to be. It just looks like a bunch of crazy fun episodes, like a bunch of silly adventures with the Doctor and Clara. You know what I mean?
Which is kind of what they've been hinting at, that now that Clara is just going to be like, she's just, let's go, let's just do it, you know, and she's not even, there's no more pretense.
Well, and I think the thing there too is ever since New Who started, it's always been like there's been like a new companion almost every, or a new combination of companions almost every season. Companion and Doctor, and now we're getting a second season. So this is kind of like the Tennant and Rose almost, where it was just like, well, no, because that was a new Doctor. This is like, that's the first time. I'm thinking of this as Four and
this is
Sarah
Amy
Jane.
Pond in the new season.
Yeah, I'm thinking of this
is
as
Amy
like
Pond season 7.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's just like, what other fun things can we have these two do? There's nothing else that's like left unspoken, like that they have to deal with. It's like she's decided she's going to travel with him all the time, and we kind of know who he is now. We're not worried about that anymore. We're not sort of analyzing that as we watch this, and it's just like a bunch of fun adventures. So it looks like.
Well, and that's kind of what you need, because Clara was so story driven her first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And that killed me, because one of the things that they always do with this show is they make it as story driven as possible. And so okay, that's great and all, but didn't we already go through the Doctor dying in season 4 with the end of Tennant? Why do we got to relive it in season 6? Because it sounds good? We already kind of just did that. It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
So like, they've gotten to a point in New Who where they're sort of reusing themes because it's all story driven. Everything has to be contained in that season the way British do. Like, you don't have to anymore. Like, we can have ongoing seasons. If you're gonna have Clara there, just have Clara there. Just have her and the Doctor running around having adventures. Throw little nuggets of story in there, and then come back to it next season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
yeah.
we
No.
don't get that.
Right. Because there's nothing new. I mean, we're gonna have Missy in there, which will be exciting. Again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Missy's return.
I know. And in this trailer, she's not like moo-hoo-ha or anything. She's just there. She seems like she's part of the crew. You know what I mean?
She's not really there. Like, she has disguised herself, so whenever they look at her, she's actually the hat rack. That's why she's not mwahaha. She doesn't want them to realize she's still in the TARDIS.
Yeah,
but we, the audience, will know.
That would give it away.
That's the theme.
But yeah,
why is the hat rack always talking back to us?
Yeah, no, but I would think, if it was like hinting at the Master, all the villains in this promo like looked all ominous and everything, but she's just kind of there, like talking to Clara and looking around.
That's the scariest part.
Yeah.
She looked really good in that trailer. I am very excited for her partner. I want to know how long she's in it, how much she's in it for. They've made mention at Comic-Con, they were talking about it. They made mention that they've shown us a picture now, right, of Capaldi and it looks like a rock quarry, so anywhere in England that they've ever filmed Doctor Who, and the TARDIS, and they keep saying this is moments before he does something that is catastrophic fallout for the universe, for everyone. And then at Comic-Con they said it's right before he saves someone that he shouldn't.
Right.
And all I can keep thinking is Missy, we know, is in the first 2 episodes. We don't know what else she's in. We don't know how much further she goes in. What if that's the moment? What if that's he saves her and she escapes and now the universe is truly threatened? Like, that's what keeps running through my head. Like, how do these things connect?
Yeah.
And watch it. It won't be that. It'll be one of the Midi Jadoon leader with the brain of Hitler inside.
Yeah. Some other thing I've heard Vikings on a spaceship.
On a spaceship.
I'm so excited. I hope the episode's called Vikings on a Spaceship. I really do.
I sincerely hope that, like, somebody says that line, and then the Doctor looks at it and goes, "That's rubbish. Don't say that again."
Yeah. Why are you so excited? This is...
Of course, the biggest thing that happened in the trailer, the thing we've kind of been waiting for, was a tease at the very end with Maisie Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And her quote, "What took you so long, old man?"
Ah! What does that mean?
Old man?
What does it mean?
Why are you so familiar? Why are you so familiar? And then he's all, "You."
Right. Yeah. There's one of two things. This could either be a red herring, like she's just somebody,
Right.
like in the episode who we recognized from earlier or something, or
Right.
or this could be something huge. This could be an old character coming back.
Right.
Or something along those lines, which would be incredible.
So let us assume it is not the former but the latter there. Let us assume it's not, that's the last scene in the episode of a 2-parter, and we've already met her and she was brand new, and then like she supposedly died or something, and then he sees her again near the end of the adventure, and he goes, "You," and she goes, "I'm waiting for you, old man, trying to catch up to me." Ha 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 ha. So let's assume it's actually somebody, that this is not a red herring.
Yeah.
Okay? There are some good theories out there, and I want to go ahead and put forth a few of them here on the podcast, so that way we can say, yes, we were saying it too. And there's one in particular that I want to say, so I can go, I called it. So I'm going to give you my top 3 possibilities
Okay.
for who this girl is. Okay?
Shoot.
Okay. So, number 3, it's possible that this is Jenny, our genetically created Dr. Clone from Season 4, who survived.
That would be great.
This theory comes from 2 things. One, we know she's alive and that she's got Time Lord DNA in her and that she's capable of using regeneration energy, so she could have survived and could look completely different. 2, the title is The Girl Who Died and the Woman Who Lived. So we could be referring to that character. And 3, and of course the biggest part of all this, is that she refers to him in such a familiar tone. And she calls him old man, you know? Well, yeah, that's kind of what you would call your dad. That's kind of, it's kind of how she would treat him.
Right.
So it's a high possibility this could be a return of that character.
I like it.
But it's completely rubbish because that's not it. Number 2. Number 2. There has been a lot of speculation that it might be Susan.
Yes.
His granddaughter.
I really like that one. It's a little strange.
However,
But yeah, go ahead.
Well, no, go ahead. Yeah, it's a little strange because last we saw her, he left her
Right.
to fall in love and live her life. But as we both have speculated in the past, she was probably called home to Gallifrey when the Time War began. I would like to point out a few things. It is very possible that it's her because she calls him old man, and well, he was an old man when he left her.
Right.
Right? But there is a little catch in all of this. It's never explicitly explained that she's a Time Lord.
This is true.
There's nothing that's... All we know for certain is that he kept referring... Of Susan, he kept referring to their home. So it's possible she's just from Gallifrey. But not all Gallifreyans are Time Lords, and not all Gallifreyans can regenerate.
Yeah.
And certainly, he would not have left her behind if she could have had access to calling her people and getting a ride home. So
Right.
the Time Lords would have taken no interest in just a regular old Gallifreyan. They wouldn't care. If she even was Gallifreyan. It's also possible it's not her because there is expanded book stories, specifically one called Lungbarrow, which discusses that how the Doctor found her, that she was actually the granddaughter of one of the founding members of Time Lord Society, the Other, and that the Doctor is possibly a reincarnation of the Other. And that's how they met, and that's how she recognized him. That was sort of the little nod or tip of the hat. So it could be her. But that's if we're going to say that she's a Time Lord and she can regenerate and she was called home during the Time War and she's 5 somehow.
Yeah, that's great.
All right.
That would be really cool.
But that's stupid because Moffat's not willing to do that. He doesn't go that far with his stuff. He likes to pull on other random things. So that's not it.
Okay.
Number 1. This is one of my favorites. I think it's someone we've never seen before, but has an even larger impact on the Doctor. I think it's his sister. There were other children. Now, we know this now, right? In the episode Listen, there were other children that he lived with, but he lived out in the barn. He wouldn't go into the house. He didn't want to live in the house. He was scared of the other children. We know from Tennant, when he spoke with the Master, how they used to talk about how he used to run the fields of the estate with the Master. So him and the Master grew up together.
Right.
So we know there were other children. I think all of those children, I think they were all adopted. I think that was like an orphanage. Maybe not an orphanage, but I think it was a home for Gallifreyan children.
It's like a boarding school.
And I think this is one of the... Like a boarding school, yes. And I think this is one of the girls there. I think we will find out that this was... She's like a sister. Maybe it's not a direct blood relation, but she is a sister of his from the days of old, and she survived.
Just any other Time Lord would be amazing. You know, we just have the Doctor.
Well,
and
or
the Doctor and the Master.
go ahead.
And I mean, that's it. Really.
Well, we've seen Rassilon and some of the Council and some of the War Generals.
But they're they're in the time. They're lost, you know. So any
Are
others?
they?
Yeah. They were.
How do we know that?
They were on Gallifrey, battling.
When at that time when it was put into frozen in time, like cup of soup.
Yeah.
But the Master got out clearly, as other things have gotten out clearly, and more importantly, we know that the other side of those cracks in time were Gallifrey, right?
Well, yeah, I guess
It was in that pocket universe on the other side.
I'm assuming until they tell us otherwise, anyone who was on that planet when it was put into the bubble or was lost in a moment of time is still there until someone else pops up and goes, "Hey, I escaped," you know, like Davros and all those Daleks.
I don't think they're lost anymore, though. I think the Doctor saved them, yes, but they found a way out, and they have been present in his life ever since.
That's a very interesting.
I still maintain they've been there since the very beginning of New Who. And they've been shielding themselves from him, so he would not find them. He says, early on, Eccleston says, "There's no one else left, I'd know it in here," and he touches his temple, like he's saying in his brain, you know, he'd be able to feel it, he'd know that there was another one of them out there. I think they've shielded themselves from him.
Yeah.
So and because he was so distraught with grief, he wouldn't have known. But Capaldi was there. Capaldi was a part of it.
Right.
They all were. So I honestly think they're free. So this could be anyone.
Yeah, I love also Capaldi was able to go back and deal with the time, you know, and help lock it away or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, which was great.
Good. He should have.
Yeah.
That's important. He's a part of it.
Yep.
So that's my theory. I think Maisie Williams is one of his childhood friends, like a sister, or someone that he loved or cared for. And she calls him old man because she's familiar with him, and she survived. Now she's out in the world. Or universe, or whatever.
Those are all really great. And there's one more that I heard that I think would be amazing also. Is
good, because it's definitely not his sister. That's rubbish.
No,
one would never think of that.
Garbage. The the one that I heard that I thought was really neat is maybe she is the daughter of his first two companions, Ian and Barbara, which I think would be great.
Oh.
Just a great nod to those two characters. You know, Ian's still alive. You could have him be a cameo, and then also, that's just kind of sweet that then she gets to be a part of it too. She's probably heard all these stories of him, you know, and then she gets to meet him. So that would be great. Only problem with that is it looks like they're in some sort of medieval time. You know, she looks like a Robin Hood type character or something, you know, so
a Renaissance fair?
Yes, they're at a Renaissance fair.
So him and Clara decide to go to a Renaissance fair.
We've already done this.
Traveling through time is just too exhausting. And while they're there, he meets the daughter of Ian and Barbara and decides, I should take her for a trip through time and space, because that didn't screw up her parents.
Yeah. He's eating kettle
And they're
corn.
totally cool with it, because he's already stolen away a couple of their teachers and put the school at risk with a couple of aliens. But nah, it's totally cool. Just take their kid.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That is that is exactly what it is. 100%.
Can I just say, I'm glad Danny got hit by a car and not, like, killed some other way, because then it would have been, like,
horrible.
Like, out in space.
God, I'm so glad Danny got hit by a car.
I just mean, I'm glad he wasn't killed out in space.
Son of a jerk.
You know, with traveling with the doctor or something, because then how would they, like, oh, he got killed, but we don't have his body, and, you know, like, it would have been real awkward trying to explain why he wasn't coming back to the school.
No, because telling people that something happened to him so they can all go to his funeral and cry is infinitely nicer than he just never shows up again, so they assume the guy that was there for literally 6 months just left and never came back. Man, Taylor.
I get whatever.
That's mean. I'm totally kidding, of course. I'm glad he's dead. But
I just meant convenience.
oh, it's convenient. Good. Now that he's out of the way, the Doctor has Claire all to himself.
Yes. Now that
he orchestrated that one carefully.
Right. cut to him driving the car. You know, like he.
it's Tom Baker behind the wheel. He stops the car. He looks right at the camera and smiles.
No, he got hit by Bessie. You know, it's the third Doctor driving Bessie.
Was K9 driving it?
Yeah. Mission accomplished.
Affirmative. So the trailer was pretty amazing.
No, the trailer was amazing, and there's so many good things we didn't even touch on. But I am so excited for this season, and just more. Now that I'm really starting to love Capaldi. Now that I've watched his season, once or twice now, and I know what he was going for. Even some of the earlier stuff that we didn't necessarily like. Now that I've seen all of it, I'm kind of going back and watching it, and I'm seeing sort of the stuff that should have made me laugh the first time, but I was too in my head about what's going on here.
What's happening? Where are we going with this?
Yeah, where's he going? Because now I know where it's headed, so it's I'm excited to see more from him and where he's going with it, and just him being. I mean, that shot where it pans up to him and he just shrugs. It's so great.
It's so 12.
Yeah. I can say that now. Like, oh, that's so 12.
Yeah.
It's
you can
great.
finally talk about it that way.
Some other great just news stuff that's been coming out for Doctor Who. A lot of some audio adventures stuff news, which is pretty cool. I don't really listen to any of it, but it sounds amazing. I might have to get into some of it.
Yeah, I've listened to some of the Peter Davidson and Sarah Sutton doing the Fifth Doctor and Nyssa, and it's actually they're really well done, very well done. And it's actually very enjoyable to hear the older Doctors.
Yeah,
I'd love to go back and listen to the Eighth Doctor because that's how you get the majority of his stuff.
Yeah,
and but the big announcement was that River Song will be returning with some audio adventures. I think we touched on it a little bit last one. But man, that's exciting.
That is great.
Start getting the modern day companions mixed in.
There's so many cool things happening. There's the River Song, like River Song's diary or something. It's like adventures, her own adventures, and then there's her teaming up with the Eighth Doctor a little bit. He doesn't know who she is, but she's helping him, and she knows, of course. And then you have Torchwood. New audio series coming out, which is pretty cool with John Barrowman. He's going to be in there. And then I saw there's the unit stuff, which we talked about before, which is pretty cool. The sort of Kate and Osgood adventures. And then one cool thing I saw was it was like a series. It was going to be a series of episodes that were going to come out. It was old Doctors with new villains. So it was like Davidson, like with the Weeping Angels or something, and
oh wow,
yeah, and Colin Baker with the Jadoon, and something. There was some other ones I don't remember, but it was really neat, kind of a neat idea. So those will be kind of fun when those come out.
Yeah, those are exciting. I'm gonna definitely want to get a hold of those because I think it'd be interesting to see the old Doctors deal with new threats.
Yeah. And
last but not least.
Go ahead.
Last but not least, Lego Dimensions, man.
Oh yes, I am so excited about this. I have been wanting Doctor Who. I've been thinking about this since they started making like Lego video games. They made like Lego Star Wars and this and that. I've been wanting them to make Doctor Who Lego sets for the longest time, and they're finally getting around to doing that. And then they come out with this news. They're coming out. It's not an official like Doctor Who Lego Doctor Who video game. That's the one I'll be really wanting to get when we get to that. But this is
Right.
Lego Dimensions. It's kind of, I don't know if anyone knows, sort of like the Skylanders and the Disney Infinity sort of games. It's the same concept where you get the little figures and you set them on the base, and then those characters are in the game and you play with them. Well, this is Lego Dimensions, and it's basically putting all those Lego games together. You know, you got like Star Wars, you got Batman, you got Gandalf in there, and all these different characters, and they play together. And they just announced that Doctor Who is going to be in this too. And there's this really cool trailer, and Peter Capaldi's doing the voice for it. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, and you can play as his character, and they had in the trailer, it kind of showed all of the Doctors, like how they're going to look in Lego figures, so maybe you can play as them too, which is really neat. I'm really excited about this. I will definitely have to play this thing when it comes out. Just for the Doctor Who.
Let me tell you what I want. let me tell you what I want from a Doctor Who Lego video game, because I think they could do it. I want the story, okay, to be first off, to be long. It needs to be a nice long story that has a lot of parts to it and a lot of stuff going on. So you can face not just the normal villains, but face a bunch of stuff. Get a chance to really travel in the TARDIS.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I want you get to pick which Doctor you start with. And as the game goes on, you don't die, you just regenerate to the next one. And then just insert that image, or that GIF, or that character into the cutscenes. So every playthrough can be a little different. And you can get different companions. Like, you can keep the old companions, but however far you get, those are the types of companions that you can get to travel with you.
Yeah.
So if you start with Hartnell, you can, right off the bat, you can get Ian and Barbara and Susan, let's say. And as time, as you're playing through the story, you die a couple times, you become Troughton, then you become Pertwee, then you become Baker, and all of a sudden, now you can unlock and get to go along with you, Sarah Jane Smith, Joe Grant, you could get Jamie, and you can take any 2 or 3 companions with you at any time on any mission. So every playthrough could be different.
Yeah, that would be great. That'd be really fun.
And then you could pick, if you wanted to start as Colin Baker, you could. Just so you could see what it's like playing with that character.
Just to get him out of the way.
But no, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If you wanted to start later on, nobody cares.
I thought you were going to make a Colin Baker joke.
I wasn't. I respect Colin Baker. His absolutely horrible performance and terrible episodes have nothing to do with the fact that he is still a phenomenal Doctor.
Yes, he's great. He's really fun.
If only the BBC didn't hate Doctor Who
right.
the 2 years he was on Doctor Who, it might have been interesting. But it wasn't, because they did, so no one cares.
One of my favorite things... No, you're fine. One of my favorite things that came out of this whole Lego thing was they had a panel for the Lego Dimensions sort of announcements. And at one point they had Capaldi up there, and Jenna Coleman, and Michelle Gomez, and Moffat. They were all cars traveling together from looked like from panel to panel, those 4. And they had a part where... Capaldi was playing with it, and there was a guy he was playing the game, and Capaldi's like, "Oh, can I put a Dalek on here? Let me put a little Dalek figurine on there." And then a Dalek shows up in the game, and he's like, "Oh, that's great. That's hilarious." And then the guy who's sort of showing off the thing, he goes, that's even better what you can do with the Dalek." And he makes the little character hop on the Dalek's back, and he's riding him around the spaceship inside, and.
What?
Yeah, and then Capaldi goes. Capaldi says to Moffat, he's like, "Moffat, we got to do this in an episode."
Oh my God, yes.
That's gonna be. Yeah, I need Capaldi like piggybacking on the Dalek, like ah!
Rock star Time Lord.
Exactly.
He's gonna play a concert, and he's gonna ride in on a Dalek.
Well, you guys. I'm excited for Series 9, and I hope you are too. And if anything new comes out, we'll be speculating about it, and we'll be talking.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks for tuning in this month. Got a bunch of stuff coming up here. We got Spring Break going on behind us, so stay tuned.
Voices from the Vortex is brought to you by...
This fall, come watch the wackiest of monsters as they become the best of friends. What happens when a Dalek and a Cyberman join forces to become a detective duo? Hilarity!
You are my partner, but you are not my friend.
This paperwork will be deleted.
The newest pair of best buds will travel the universe as they try to find their place. Watch as they turn a rundown soda shop into a crazy adventure.
Why is the nozzle failing to produce the sugary liquid refreshment?
It hit everything but the eye stalk.
Prepare to laugh as the Dalek and the Cybermen get an apartment together. Or should I say, apart?
Why is there a line drawn down the middle of this room?
I have designated this half as the cyber half. You are not allowed to trespass onto the cyber half.
How will I use the bathroom? That room is designated on the cyber half.
Uh-oh. I sure hope they figure this out. Coming this fall to GNN, My Two Monsters, a sitcom about being a little different and living with a mechanical roommate monster of death.
Welcome back, this is Matt from the Vortex, and we're here on Spring Breakia 4, enjoying the partying and general shenanigans of a decade-long spring break. With me today, I have the members of the band Infinite Direction. Guys, welcome.
Hey.
Hi. So, tell me about your new album dropping this week.
We've been working on it for a few days now. It's been something we all feel strongly about.
Yeah, we're pretty much best friends, and we want to make music together.
I love that song about the girl you love.
Which one?
I guess all of them, really.
Yeah, it's about this girl from Homeroom.
Wait, do you mean Strahl or Ninzik?
Twill.
Twill.
What do you guys think about spring break this year?
Oh man, we're having so much fun. We've never been to Spring Breakia 4, but we had to make sure we got the chance to get here. It's the wildest party in the quadrant.
We had a party in the room last night. It went on all night. Seriously, people just kept coming in.
Yeah, there were 100 people there or something. They kept coming into the room, drinking, dancing, having fun.
It was still going when we got up to come do this interview. It was zap-tastic. Yeah, very zap-tastic.
Your galactic MySpace page says that you guys are really into politics. Blake, you worked on the intergalactic gubernatorial campaign for Breed Skeptic of Nardolis 6. It says you were instrumental in crafting his message to voters. You even wrote his inaugural address. You're a graduate from the Greater Verena University with a double doctorate in political science and a triple minor in cultural linguistics. That's fantastic.
Thanks.
Alright, so we're going to throw it to Taylor for an update on the beach volleyball tourney. Hey, Tay, what's going on out there?
Matt, we've got two great teams competing for the championships right now. The Skaro Daleks and the Cyber Team USA. They're both tearing up the court right now, and it is intense. I've got the coach for the Dalek team here. Coach, how's the game going?
Daleks are born for glory, and soon shall win the championships of Spring Break Volleyball.
Awesome.
Mine.
And now a quick word from the Cyber Team coach, the Star Wars Emperor. Emperor, what's the ongoing strategy for the Cybermen?
To crush the Dalek forces, then conquer the universe. I mean to play a clean game and party hard. Go Cowboys!
Sounds great. Matt, we'll be here watching the game until the final point. Back to you.
Thanks, Tay. Up next, we got a review of Classic Who. Stay tuned as we rock it out from Spring Break. All right, yeah, woo, yeah, Spring Break. What? Now the theater's ready to play the classic episode. Man, this is exciting.
I never get tired of the older Doctors.
TARDIS, which is your favorite episode?
All of them, but mostly because my sister is in them.
Good answer.
Alright, TARDIS, let's do this.
Activating theater conditions.
The lights are lowering.
The curtain is opening.
Commencing vid-disc playback. Enjoy the feature, boys.
It may be of some small consequence to know we've travelled backwards in time some 65 million years.
Big deal.
Think about it.
Do you recall the fossil dinosaur bones in the cave on Earth? What? And why it's believed they died out so quickly?
Earth collided with a meteorite.
Or something. The freighter?
The antimatter vessel will split open on impact. There will be a tremendous explosion.
The freighter was the meteorite?
It seems inevitable, as is your history as we know it.
You lie, Doctor!
Not at all! You've lost!
Miners have gone missing in the depths of the Earth. The Doctor and his amazing friends face their most dangerous enemy yet, as the return of the Cybermen threatens not only the Doctor, but the human race as well. This one has it all. Don't miss Doctor Who in Earthshock. Now I'll never know if I was right. Goodbye, dear friend.
Oh, it's shocking.
The Earth is shocked.
Earthshock. You know
what?
I this one was okay in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, I thought there were a lot of good moments as far as the, you know, the goodbye to Adric and sort of the character development there. And the Cybermen are always a little fun, but as far as the overall story goes, I was a little bored with it.
It's very slow moving.
Yeah.
And that really, Davidson's first season really suffered from that. It was a very slow-moving season, and this certainly was a big part of it. This episode is a pretty important episode when we talk about Classic Who. For many reasons, of course, the obvious reason, the death of Adric.
Yes, which was very sad and very abrupt. Which I'll say we can talk about it now, or we can save it until the end. But but man, you know, he dies, and then they cry, and then it's just silence, and the credits roll.
That was a choice by BBC. They wanted, because it was such a solemn moment, they wanted something to sort of pontificate that, so they decided this will be the only time they ever do the end credits without a song.
Yeah, it was the single shot of the star. You know, there was no, Vortex going on in the background or of the credits or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
That star, his badge for mathematical excellence, which I know you haven't seen the stuff from eSpace yet, but that badge. When I was a kid, that was like the big thing for me watching Doctor Who. I wanted that badge, but I'm not good at math, so.
Yeah, it's just for like hot dog eating contest or
right.
Yeah.
I would have gotten it for how many Diet Cokes can you drink in a minute.
There you go.
It's taking them down like shots, boys. I guess we're gonna give them the star.
Yeah. One of my problems with this episode was it was very slow moving, and it seemed pretty slow moving in the fact that they started with the caves, and then they ended. They were on that spaceship, and we never really heard from some of those cave people again. You know, and the plot of the Cybermen was to set off a bomb, and then they're like, all right, well, then we'll crash the ship into the Earth instead. It was a real simple plan, and I feel like that could have been covered in like 1 to 2 episodes, but then they put it into 4.
The big thing for me was really, what was their plan? We're gonna hijack the ship that has a bomb on it and just throw it at the Earth.
Yeah.
Like, this is your sophisticated plan? But then I think about it, what was the first thing we ever saw the Cybermen do? Hey, we got a planet, let's throw it at the Earth.
Right.
So their techniques haven't gotten that much better.
No, it's very... and the fun part about this one, too, was this was sort of one of those episodes where they take a long-standing mystery in history. What happened to the dinosaurs? It's believed a meteor hit. And then they're like, no, wait, it was this the whole time.
It's very Doctor Who to do that.
Yes, yeah. They've done that on several occasions.
This is interesting because from Peter Davidson's first episode, his first story, Castrovalva, they go back to the Big Bang. They're there at the hydrogen inrush of the first event. And then here we see, again, Peter Davidson's TARDIS facing off against the dinosaurs, essentially, being the asteroid that kills them. So it's interesting to me that Davidson's run was pontificated by a lot of not science, but like the kind of stuff you were learning in the classroom in the 1980s. A lot of the stuff that they were teaching you, and it's really interesting just to kind of see that sort of. I don't know. The Fourth Doctor faced a lot of stuff that was different, I guess. That's really what I'm trying to say. So this was very different. This was a contrast that I really like. It makes him younger. It makes him seem younger, more approachable. More like that kooky science professor you have in school, as opposed to really crazy bohemian guy that hangs around behind the school by the trash cans.
Who you should definitely stay away from.
Well, the scarf alone is probably going to kill you.
The hair, the unwashed.
I don't know what he kept offering me, officer. It was some sort of candy, maybe? A jelly baby? I didn't try it. I didn't trust it. I don't know what's in that jelly baby, and honestly, I don't
I've never heard that term. I think it's street for smack.
I think it's street. Yeah. It's a new drug. They call it the doctor drug.
They call it the jelly baby.
Regenerate into a new life.
Oh, boy.
Universe is bigger on the inside. Zing.
Yeah. One of my problems with this episode too was they had he's got 3 companions, which is already that's a lot of companions.
Yeah, the crowded TARDIS. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very crowded. And the problem with that is you had this great sort of story with him and Adric where they were bickering and fighting and
which they did a lot.
Yeah. But then you had the other 2 women, and they were just kind of there. For all I know, they could have just been like part of the military group. Like they didn't do much else of anything.
The funny thing is that first season for Davidson, they call it the crowded TARDIS because it had 3 people in the TARDIS with them, and that's a very good point because every story, one of them would be really important. You know.
Mm-hmm.
In Castrovalva, they really leaned heavily on Nyssa and Tegan. Adric was sort of out of the picture for that story because of the Master. And then in For the Doomsday, you really got you really sort of focused on the Doctor's interaction with Adric, and then the Doctor's interaction with Tegan. Nyssa sort of took a back seat. When you get the Visitation, you get kind of a Tegan-heavy focus. Black Orchard, which was a Nyssa-heavy focus, and then you get this one, which was Adric again. So maybe 3 companions just does not work for Doctor Who. There's just too much to divide up the attention.
Right. Well, I mean, literally, there was a scene where they cut to Nyssa on the TARDIS, and she's there with one of the military people, and the military person's like, "Oh, something's happening. Should we call the doctor or something?" And she's like, "No, we should just wait here." I'm like, what was the point of that scene? They didn't do anything.
Yeah.
She literally goes, "No, let's not do anything and sit right here and wait." Like, you could have skipped that. That was not a
little bit of editing there, maybe could have helped.
Yeah.
We do see a lot more of the TARDIS in these stories this first season. Specifically, I think it's really cool. You get to see the bedrooms.
Yeah, that was kind of neat. And like Adric's bedroom, like right at the very beginning, the first shot, there's like posters on the wall, and it looked like his teenager's bedroom. Like he just moved in and
put
all his stuff up. In the past, like in the very first season of this show, with Hartnell and Susan and everything, you got to see her room, but there wasn't much there. There wasn't stuff on the walls. It was more spaceship-like. This looked like a dorm room.
Well, and you're right, but you keep in mind too with Susan when in that first season, or first seasons, they had no idea what to do. They were just like rearranging the background and some of the elements. They took out the console and they rolled in a bed and they're like, all right, it's a room,
Yeah.
But with these, I think they actually sit down and say, we got to have a bigger TARDIS. We need to see more. We need to see where they're sleeping, where they're living. Davidson's second season, you'll see a lot more of Nyssa and Tegan's rooms. It's really interesting.
Yeah. And the one thing that they have on the TARDIS that they use all the time in Classic Who, and I've seen it, and they don't really use it in New Who that much, and I wish they would, because it's a little hokey, but it's kind of fun, is when they look at the monitor to see what's outside. They never really do that anymore. Now it's this tiny little screen, and we never get to see what's on the screen. Usually it's always like we see the Doctor looking at it. Oh, well, it looks all right. I like the big screen on the wall, and you see, you'd see Robin Hood walking around outside or whatever,
That would be great. A return to some of those old, and maybe we'll see that. Capaldi's really big on Classic Who, and so is Moffat. Maybe we'll get that huge screen monitor again.
Which is a good point. I feel like Moffat in his with the first Doctor, with Matt Smith, he kind of had to reinvent the wheel almost, and as the show, and to try to stay relevant and to be hip. And now that the show is such a big success, he's like, all right, we're going to do this the way I've been wanting to do it. Stick to some Classic Who stuff, get an older guy in here, and so, I think hopefully we'll get to see some of those more Classic Who nods in the future.
What did you think of just the three of the companions all working together?
I mean, it was all right. There was a lot of bickering. Yeah. They didn't really seem to work together very well.
No.
I mean, especially Adric at the beginning, it was like somebody called a ambulance, It's just whining. And I'm like, dude, you're on a free trip through space and time. Cheer up, man.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, you got to keep in mind, Adric had lost his home. He ran away with the Doctor from his dimension, so he can't get back. The Doctor kept promising him he'd find a way back. And so you got Adric wants to go home, and he can't get back home. Tegan was supposed to be at Heathrow Airport to get on a plane because she's a stewardess or a flight attendant. And the Doctor can't get her home. Nyssa's home planet is gone, and her father is the Master now. So, he does have three people with some massive amounts of baggage. So they're constantly complaining every episode. Every episode, first thing out of Tegan's mouth. So, did you get me back to Heathrow Airport? And he's all, no. And she's all, oh, Doctor, you can't do anything right. I hate you, and I hate this TARDIS. But let's go have an adventure.
One of the things about this episode that I found interesting was the Cybermen were pretty different, in my opinion.
Almost as if they were just wearing plastic suits.
Yeah, mostly. Well, yeah, mostly. Actually, the one funny thing is, they got sort of the hard plastic heads and maybe the boots or something, or a chest plate, but then the rest of it's just a silver jumpsuit. So they're walking up the stairs and there's a Cyberman with a wedgie,
Right.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
But they've got that music in the background. Doom, 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 doom.
Da, 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 da. Now, I mean, with these Cybermen, the one big thing was vocally, they were so different, and I felt like it was so lazy. It was just there was barely any vocal effect to make them sound robotic. There was barely any attempt by the actors who played the Cybermen to sound robotic. They just were almost just pompous humans in Cybermen suits.
Well, and that's very true. It was, well, I mean, we could make the argument, right? They had no budget.
Yeah.
So they were just like, just talk like this. The doctor is coming, and then just like be done with it. But
yeah,
I would also say that the very first time we see the Cybermen, they have a very electronic voice, right? In the 10th planet. Almost, they just open their mouth and like out comes the voice.
So good.
And out came like a soliloquy.
Yeah.
And which is so funny. Love the 10th planet. But these Cybermen, they were much more advanced because they had faced the Doctor. They had faced the Time Lords. And so they needed to upgrade that part of them. So they started using more human parts for the voice, I think, and upgrading they're very strong. So I don't think in that suit was a person. That's all robotics. I think the head was real. Yeah. The rest was supposed to be robot.
Yeah, sure. I could see that too. I also liked one of them said, "Explode the bomb," which I don't know if that's proper grammar or
technically
in England maybe, but I had never heard that phrase before.
One could explode the bomb.
Yes, explode the bomb.
It's a
not
hip
set
80s
off the
phrase.
bomb or blow up the bomb. Explode the bomb.
You're going out like with your friends and stuff, and you go to the club, and you're like, it's time to explode the bomb, and then you just get out on the dance floor and you start dancing. What?
I'm gonna start
Explode
using
the
that.
bomb.
All right, ladies, it's time to explode the bomb.
Come check out my cyber moves. Oh! Explode the bomb.
That's it. We're making a techno remix with some like Cybermen sounds, and it's.
Oh my god, we're just gonna pull literally that quote, "Explode the bomb," and
and
just
the track
play
in
it
the
over
back's
and over
like,
again.
"Explode the bomb, explode the bomb, explode the bomb."
Bring it back.
Explode the bomb. Explode the bomb. All right. It's a hit.
All right. This is our all acapella techno band that we're forming
here. Stay tuned. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't stay tuned. You will not hear acapella techno on this podcast.
I had a couple. There was one line that I thought was really funny, and and I think it's one of the ones that I've seen like on Tumblr being made fun of and stuff. It's the Cybermen, and they are looking, and they finally see the Doctor for the first time, on the monitor, and one of them says, "It's the Doctor. Oh, he's a Time Lord. He's forbidden to interfere." And the other one says, "This one calls himself the Doctor and does nothing but interfere."
But it's true.
I was like, "Yep, that's right."
That sums him up perfectly.
Yes.
This was the first time we saw the Cybermen in a very long time. I think the last time we saw them was briefly with Baker. And then you wouldn't see him again since Troughton, right? There's no Cybermen Pertwee as far as I can think of.
Not that I can think of.
I thought there was one appearance of the Cybermen with Baker. But then you don't see him.
Yeah, they made a big deal about them, when they saw them.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and the Doctor's like, they're Cybermen,
Right.
Whereas nowadays, they're just like, oh, Cybermen, run.
Right, well, I mean,
yeah.
With New Who, everything is every season. Can we just get one season without a Dalek episode? Can we get one season without a Cyberman episode?
You say that, but then when the next season comes after that, you'll be like, thank God, we're finally getting a Dalek episode.
Well, because
last season sucked.
Because they replaced the Dalek episode with something stupid, like a new monster that's a little squiggly worm, and the Doctor learns to love again. And I'm like, no, damn it, I want fleets of Daleks. I'm sorry, Moffat. Don't listen to me. If you're listening to this podcast right now, do an entire season of nothing but Dalek, and with the War Doctor. Just that. Just Time War season. And go. 1, 2, 3, go. Watch it be a Big Finish audio series.
Oh, I don't have time for that.
There were some really good moments in the. What did you think of the captain of the ship, the stern older lady?
She was funny. I liked her karate chop. She did a karate chop at one point. It was good.
Judo was very big in the 80s. Bigger in the 70s, but big in the 80s.
Yeah.
It was overall, I think it was very well done. I think the whole storyline was, you're right, it was very slow. You really don't care about the miners. They take like 2 episodes with them, and then you're done with them.
Yeah, and then you're on the ship, and then it's like new people that we're supposed to care about, and it's like, yeah. And then, and then it's like, oh, a really good scene at the end here with Adric, and he's figuring it out, and trying to figure it out, and then it's sad. And yeah, that scene, I mean, that was a good dramatic thing, I'm sure, because you didn't have a lot of companions die back then.
He was the second, as far as I can think of.
Yeah, before that, you had in Hartnell with the Daleks' master plan, there were a couple that died like during that, which are lost to us. We've never seen those, really. But yeah, like a couple of companions that he gained during that 12 episode thing, gained and lost within the span of that thing. And they ended up, they died.
That was a big deal. They really went out of their way to give happy endings to most of the companions.
Yeah.
And then you get Adric's death, and if you're a kid watching it, and you don't get why it's so big. Like, because when I was 9 or 10, watching this, and Davidson was my first Doctor, and I see this crowd at TARDIS, and that was fun. And I see Castrovalva, and then Earthshock, and the Visitation, and Kinda, and Black Orchard, and then finally this, and I was like, I didn't get it. Like, I didn't understand why he died, and but as a kid, I didn't understand why everyone hated Wesley on Star Trek: The Next Generation. Like, because I was like, he's a kid, he's just like me. I'd do the same thing if I were a kid. So, maybe as an adult, I find him a little obnoxious.
Sure.
A little.
Well, it's the Jar Jar effect. It's we all hate him, but kids who were kids when those prequels came out, they ended up they all said they liked Jar Jar. They thought it was kind of funny, and
wouldn't that be more actually the Adric effect?
Sure. Yeah.
And technically, didn't Return of the Jedi come out first? Wouldn't it be the Ewok effect?
Well, there's the Ewoks, and there's also C-3PO. They didn't,
really?
I heard when Star Wars, the first A New Hope came out, people were a little annoyed with C-3PO. They thought it was annoying. So much so that in the next one, they had Han, like when Han told C-3PO to shut up, there was a big cheer, like, yeah, shut him up. Yeah. So yes, there's always that character. There's always that thing. But we all love C-3PO and R2-D2 because we were little when we first saw those movies. And
it's a fair point.
Yeah. So you're right.
Overall, this was I thought a very good put together story. Very slow, but a lot of context to it. And Death of Adric is sad. It's monumentous for Doctor Who. Kind of a moment where the Doctor finally grows up a little bit. That's his midlife crisis.
Yep.
I think.
This was pretty good. I mean, it's Doctor Who, so I always enjoy watching it. But yeah, I gotta say this one was a little slow. One of my favorite moments, though, which made me laugh, was I believe it was either Nyssa or the Doctor shooting the Cyberman, which was interesting for the Doctor to be doing that anyway. Which we've talked about that in the past, but they shoot him, and then while he's down, they shoot him some more. The Cyberman's already dead, falling down, and they give him just a couple more rounds right in the chest. I thought, geez, all right then.
It is interesting how many times Cybermen show up on the TARDIS.
Yeah,
like in an episode with the Cybermen are in the TARDIS, and they show up in the TARDIS, like just out of nowhere. You're like, oh no, there's another Cyberman, and it happens a couple times, and it's almost embarrassing.
Somebody close the door, for God's sakes.
Right, just stop letting the Cybermen in.
Close that door. We're gonna get Cyberman in here.
Look, he's got like this like lightsaber or something hanging from the ceiling with a cage around it. When a Cyberman walks in, he's drawn to it and it electroshocks him. It earth shocks him and he dies.
I just imagine like a screen door on the TARDIS and then like a Cyberman outside and he can't get in. He's like,
all right, Moffat, build me the Cyberman moth.
Yes.
In the next Cyberman episode.
Cybermoth.
Cybermoth.
Calculating. Voices from the Vortex gives Earthshock 5 out of 10.
Now Voices from the Vortex presents contemporary hits from yesterday, today, and tomorrow. The top 40. Counting down in the Vortex.
Hey, Missy, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Missy. Excuse me.
oh, Missy, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Missy. Hey, Missy. Oh, Missy, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Missy. You're messing with the earth and I think it's really wrong. You think you're my best friend cause you've known me for so long. Why can't you tell the truth so I can find our home, Missy? Cause when I think you're dead, it always means you're not. You're giving me a headache with all your evil plots. But with all our people gone, you're the only one I got, Missy. Oh, Missy, what a pity you don't understand. You take me by both hearts and you used to be a man. Oh, Missy, you're so evil, can't you understand? It's Time Lords like you, Missy. Oh, what you do, Missy, don't kill my friends, Missy. Hey, Missy. From the lakes of Castorobus to the hills of Romana 3, across the flames of the death zone, from tree to shining tree, from the capital of the Time Lord's rule, down the road to Arcadia Bay, where there's pride in both of our Time Lord hearts, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be Gallifreyan, where at least I know my place. And I won't forget the time war when we fought the Dalek race. And I gladly regenerate next to you and defend her still today. Cause there ain't no doubt I love this planet. Oh, bless this Gallifrey.
Well, you can't tell by the way I use my gun when my songs are in. Now time to run. Bombs are loud and missiles hold. I've been ready to fight since I was close. Now you look the Centaurian way. You're a potato and that's okay. But we can try to understand the battle's effect on Centaurians. Whether you've retreated or you're undefeated, songs are hot, songs are hot. When the battle march is playing, everybody's saying songs are hot, songs are hot. Ha, 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 songs are hot, songs are hot. Ha, 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 songs are hot.
This is Matt coming at you from the beach house here on Spring Breakia 4. Well, we've got some pretty awesome bands setting up to play. From Sex Blasters to Infinite Direction, this is gonna be one rockin' time. Let's throw it back to Taylor one last time as we sign off. Go ahead, Tay.
So then I said, no, that's not my sonic screwdriver.
I don't get it.
See, because it was in my pocket, and it wasn't a screwdriver.
Oh. Was it a wrench?
This has been the Voices from the Vortex, reporting from the beach of Spring Breakia 4. Back to you, Matt.
Thanks, Taylor. Well, that's it for the two dudes from Gallifrey. We're going to be rocking it all night long, so get on down here and party it up at Spring Break. To the Vortex!
Voices from the Vortex is a fan podcast created by Matthew Whitecamp and Taylor Davidson. Starring Matthew Whitecamp as Matt from Gallifrey, Taylor Davidson as Taylor from Gallifrey, Danielle Davidson as the voice of the TARDIS. Music arranged by Murray Gold for the BBC. Doctor Who and all related material is copyright BBC. No infringement on rights intended. Use of material is for satirical purposes and is not intended to be canon. As always, a huge thanks to the BBC and Doctor Who for inspiring us, entertaining us, and giving us one more thing in life which kicks massive ass. Make sure to follow our podcast on broadcastgallifrey.com or check us out on all of our social media pages: Facebook, Google+, Twitter, Tumblr, and of course YouTube. Thanks for listening. We'll see you again in the Vortex.
Meanwhile, on an asteroid very far away.
Oh, hello there, Master. What's going on?
This, my evil version of that, is Spring Break, Master Style.
Woo! This is the greatest day of my life.
At a beach ball?
An evil beach ball.
I feel like we've basically become the Team Rocket of this podcast.
Ooh, wet t-shirt contest. I get a judge.